So it's been a while. It sure has been a while, hasn't it? I'll just stick this in here. That's in there because it's technically an illegal deck now. But yeah, it's God, it's been how long? 6 months? Really? No. Anyways, yeah, no. Shortly after during the filming of the most recent video that I put out here, I was going through some stuff. In the background, I was figuring out my place in the world, and who I am as a person, and most importantly, my sense of self, and the things that I draw pride in. And many things, many classical things came up. But one thing didn't quite seem right anymore. One thing didn't quite stick. So I decided to try something out. And in the month that followed, no, it was approximately like 5 days. Alright, if we're being honest, here's the timeline. Last time I uploaded was probably around like August. No, it had to be since the season started in August. But oh my god, it started in August. No fucking way. No way the Shockwave hammer was back in Fortnite before the season started. I'll have to look at that later. But timeline wise, okay, so around May of last year, there was a deck of the day competition in which Mumbo Jumbo was the theme of the deck. And it had every single Mumbo card in the deck. You might ask yourself, why is that a problem? Well, the answer is that I, and only I, had such a long-standing gripe with the Mumbo rare card that I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna play this deck of the day as myself. I'm gonna play it as Mumbo Jumbo. But not just as Mumbo Jumbo. Because that would be too reasonable. That would be too normal. That would be too, I don't know, expected? I don't know. Anyways, the point is that I decided to don the identity of Goth Babe Mumbo for the day. And since I couldn't find somebody who had the skin on, I put the skin on myself. And after that, I just did the deck of the day, got a 5-0 win, and was like, okay. Subconsciously, I was probably looking for any excuse to keep the skin on, but consciously, I was like, you know what? This skin has luck-altering powers, so I am going to keep it on until the next TCL season concludes. The next TCL season never arrived. it arrived. It's come and gone by now, but it was a few. It was the same day, actually, or later in the day, that Mumbo, returned with the Goth Babe Mumbo skins, and Skiz needed some player heads. So that just that was a fun fact. And within the next 24 hours, I watched Lord of the Rings. Again, that's just a fun fact. We're trying to get to how this happened. Anyways, how we're trying to get to how I went from. Come on, no, it's around here somewhere. Went from this to this. Anyways, point is, after the whole mumbly jumbly incident, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep the skin on until the next TCL. The next TCL never came. And it got to the point where it was like, okay, I gotta do some character writing with this. Just cause. So I came with the brilliant idea of, at the time, Jack character fell into a vat and became a woman, and came to terms with their new body and discovered that they were gender fluid. Now, that's only step one. That was like July. That's where we were at in July. And so that was just character drink, And the end of the season was coming, so I was like, fuck it. I'll keep this skin on until the end of the season, and I'll go back to my old classic skin for season 3, or at the end of the season, leading into season 3, which I did. I had a season 3 specific skin picked out and chosen. Season 3 took a while to start because there was a hardcore event in the middle of it, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring these two idiots into it. Jeremy and Bertie, the Rock Brothers. But I was also like, you know what? They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back for the sequel. They have a pawn shop on this season. But I sold my soul Panda. Anyways, no, it was specifically Jeremy. Yeah, it was specifically Jeremy that sold his soul Panda. Anyways, around that time, the season took a bit to start. It was a bit like a week or so later. Around that time, the Shockwave Hammer was added back into Fortnite. I was ecstatic over that decision. I was like, oh my god, season saved. And the medallions that basically ruined the season for me are now too. Oh my god, best season ever. Oh, and the Wrecker Revolver, great weapon. Anyways, the Shockwave Hammer is back in Fortnite, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start playing Fortnite. And then it was like, okay, what skin do I use? And it's like, I'm gonna go with a Light Rider instead of the Ageless, my typical Shockwave Hammer go-to, because, it's the Ageless champion. It's motherfucking Geno. But, yeah. And then Skits happened. And the context to this is that, I believe this was still in August, is when Skiz confronted some internet drama about his reaction, or more like a lack of reaction to I'm pretty sure it was a young trans guy, just asking for a simple request of the words of "I'm proud of you, son," following the 2020 election. Nope, 2024 election. We're 4 more years in the future. This kid did not think that Joe Biden, of all people, was gonna wreck everything. He was scared that Donald Trump was gonna do it anyways. So yeah, Skiz publicly apologized, and as somebody who grew up in not a conservative household, but like around religion and in the Central Valley, aka farmland, aka the red part of California. But not too much so, because like Stanislaus County flips. But my point is that I understood what it was like to once think certain things, but then after learning and like expanding your worldview and like really seeing people as people, your worldview can change. And while it does not erase the years of which you thought the things previously, it's still better that you think more that you think in a kinder way going forward. And that really got me thinking of, who am I? What kind of person am I? Am I the kind of person that would just stand back, let things happen? No. It was around that time that there was a big uptick in at least the social media coverage of the Israeli genocide against Palestine, specifically Gaza, and that really hit me as, damn, these people are suffering, and they barely have a voice as is. And one of the things that I have always cherished in my life is my voice, is my ability to be able to share my story and speak out. So I chose to start spreading the stories of people I came across online. Unfortunately, that has died down, but I still try to push forward everything I do come across, because, I might not be able to support them financially, but even that little bit could end up pushing them towards somebody who does. Anyway, who can. Anyways, point is that I really, really started thinking. And on September 5th, 2025, I came to the conclusion that being cis, trying out being a man just wasn't working. Because, like, ever since I was younger, I tried to just fit in, to just exist out as what I was born as, and that just never really clicked. Because, like, even though I'd put up a mask in public, I'd find myself being myself in private, and the fact I didn't have the confidence to share that with the people I loved and the people I cared about really bothered me. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump into the deep end with this. I've tried this out long enough. I'm just going to go to the deep end and see where it takes me. So I did. I came out as trans on pretty much every, well, mainly on Instagram and Twitter, but like, and then like changed my PFPs on like most of the social medias and like sites that I use frequently. But like at the time, I decided to keep my old username because I didn't know what to change it yet, and also I just wasn't sure if I wanted to change it yet. But I knew that this would be the path I'm taking forward. And 5 days later, someone asked me specifically how I identified for the interactions with the Hermitcraft TCG card, and in that moment, I knew that I was trans because I didn't think for a second to ask myself the question, am I a woman? I just jumped straight to the thought of the answer is yes. How does it affect the Hermitcraft TCG meta going forward due to recent cards that were added in that already boost damage based off of the AFK Hermits, but specifically PvP and speed. Anyways, the point is that I had already made my mind up a long time ago. In 2022, in late 2022, I like had the realization I was trans, but like I pushed it down and was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna give this one more shot. You know, I'm gonna give living as a man one more shot. That did not work, even though it took a few more years for me to realize it. It did not work, and now I'm here. It was in October that I ended up picking out my new name, which is Rose, if you can tell by the channel name that you're watching this on. But yeah, I chose the name Rose, specifically Rose of Crimson, because not only because of the Scarlet Rose, which is a huge, which is a significant object in the Chronicles of Wynn, but also the Crimson Court, my base in season 2 of the Bedrock in SMP. That was just me being myself and being silly and forming so many great memories and so many relationships that I still have to this day, because we're only in season 3. It hasn't even been a year since that season ended yet. But yeah, I found myself with a new username for the first time in it was probably 2019 that I switched over to Jack Simpson 2077, so a solid 6 years in which I used that username for, because it was just what fit at the time. And things change. People change over time. No surprise. But I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared at the start, but now, 6 months in, I very much have found my place and have found who I am and all that good stuff, and hope to be able to share my story and maybe somebody will relate to it and find themselves in the process. But I will say this now, is that if you are questioning your gender identity, try everything out before you make a choice. Because, yeah, that's just, in my opinion, the healthy thing to do is to give everything a shot. And you'll know what's right or wrong, you know? You'll know what makes you you at the end of the day. Anyways, that's the basics done. So, you're probably wondering, other than dealing with gender identity in the last 6 months, and the answer to that is all over the place, ranging from dealing with massive personal loss in my life to not having a functioning laptop, which this video might have some performance impact because of that, because this is a very cheap laptop that I bought for myself to get myself back on track with everything, but also, I haven't looked up. Anyways, but yeah, I've just been busy and seeing more frequent content from here, even if it is just me just chilling and talking about stuff I'm interested in. But speaking of which, the immediate video is going to be a comprehensive look at the golden ratio in Hermitcraft TCG, which isn't like some meta thing. It is literally just 14 hermits, 14 effects, and 14 item cards. I'm going to be breaking it down and breaking down the playstyle in general because I'm really the only person who actively uses the playstyle and like actually like tries new stuff out with the playstyle anyways. Moral of the story here is listen to your heart and follow it, even when it seems scary, because even if it seems like something you might not be able to take a step back from, you'll be able to just experiment and find yourself, and you'll know what works for you. Anyways, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me just putting out an update. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you liked what you saw in this video structure-wise, tune in, I guess, because you're either going to see it here or over on Daxtum's YouTube channel, which it's either going to be under a Daxtum or a Daxtum the elephant, or that elephant with some numbers following it. Just look up Bedrock Gang SMP Season 2, and you'll probably be able to find one of his videos, in which point that'll take you to his channel. He's a great guy. I recommend you checking out his channel if you want to see more stuff from this server, because I keep to my... No, I don't keep to myself, but I tend to keep towards this area and Spawn. So if you want to see what he's up to, go ahead and check out his channel, and yeah. And you'll know you're in the right place because you'll see somebody with this player head. Anyways, yeah. Oh. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.